Everybody, I totally needed that video because 3 minutes ago, just when I went to move over my microphone to talk, I spilt my water bottle all over everything on my desk. And so thank goodness I was like quickly cleaning up this big giant mess and the happiness video came on. So there you go. You attract all kinds of wonderful things. Hey, everybody, welcome to Ignite Live. Happy to have you here. Yeah, it's an interesting day when you spill your water bottle all the way across your desk, right? It's like, what is the universe trying to tell me? What's the message within the spilled water bottle? So I hope that you're having a better day than me in the last 3 to 4 minutes. How's everybody doing? Big show of hands. It's a 10, it's a 5, it's a 6, it's a 2. How are we all doing? Perfect 10. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is what makes me so excited is I get to hang out with the coolest people on the planet that are living the 10 life. They're living, they're igniting, they're going all out. And so congratulations to each and every one of you. Thanks for being here. What do we do at Ignite Live? Well, we talk about the ways to grow your business. We talk about the ways to improve you. And then we do some really cool and fun networking. Now, I'm really on the track lately about what makes success versus not success. You know, I've been doing tons of coaching, tons of exploring, tons of growing the brand. And one thing we've come to realize that for many of us, we have this goal. We go after this goal. We go to aspire for something. We get the goal. We have like the immediate rush. We get the excitement, and then we kind of fall down. Why? Because we didn't root in the systems. So I'm all about systems. You guys know me, right? I love systems. I love progress. I love incremental improvements. I love strategy. I like the tinker toy. I love all putting things together. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people say like, JB, how do you do it? And I have often related to the fact that I go after it. I'm excited. I don't take no for an answer. I push through resistance, 10 minutes of transformation. But one of the things someone pointed out to me just recently, one of my coaches said, you are all about the systems. You need to teach the systems to your people because that's going to root them into lifelong change. That's going to help them really think about the ways that they can make sustainable change, because we can all, go for the basket and get that immediate reward and be like, yay. And then have we really fundamentally changed? Have we really actually put in the habits that we need to create the system that we want to have lifelong results? So I'm going to talk a little bit about systems today, and we're talking about ways to help you grow your sales, because all of us are in the business of selling, right? Like we're even selling when we're trying to convince our kids to do something, or, we're selling when we want to, order something on the menu, or, convincing I don't know what you guys, but like whenever Peter and I go to a restaurant, I'm always like, well, what do you want to have? And then I'll be like, want to share something? So I'm like trying to sell him on sharing something with me because I want to have more than one thing. So we're always selling. We're selling ourselves. Even when we get up in the morning, we open up our closet, we're like, okay, which one of these things am I going to wear today? How am I going to present myself? We're always in this sales mode. But a lot of us don't like the word selling. And last week we listened to Dan Gordon talk about sales. And for many of you, you have a book. Yes, guess what? You have a book, and you have a product, and you have a brand, and you have a message, and most importantly, you have a purpose. So write that down. I have a purpose. I have a purpose and a mission. And part of my purpose and mission requires me to be unique and creative in what I sell. Now, I was on the treadmill yesterday because, everybody, I'm getting back into training. I actually had an interesting thing. Mother Nature has not been in our favor. Even last week it was snowing. And I've been telling myself like, oh, I'll start training when Mother Nature is nice. Oh, I'll start training when it stops snowing. Oh, I'll start training. Guess what? It's almost May and Mother Nature is not cooperating. And so guess what? I have to start training. Like I can't keep waiting for Mother Nature and using that as an excuse. And so we, each and every one of us, have to fundamentally put in these structures and these repeat patterns to make ourselves reach that level of success. So today we're going to talk a little bit about sales. I did some screenshots over the weekend for those of you who may have missed it. And so one of the first things I want to talk about is, and let me just screen share with you, is I screenshot this from Dan's presentation. He said, selling is ask prospects a series of questions, discover what is missing from their lives and what are you hoping your product will give them. You can write that down if you like. What is missing from your clients' lives and what are they hoping your product will give them? Now, I wish that Dan would have circled this word. What are they hoping you will give them? Because guess what? I don't know if any of you are guilty, but we love to sell what we want, right? We love to sell what we think. We love to sell what we think is going. But let's for a moment think about what is it our customers want? What do they need? What are they looking for? Yamilka's here. She's like nodding her head. She taught me a lot of this too. Like, what does our customers need? And so I want you guys to write out 3 things that you know your customer needs, not what you are trying to sell. What does your customer need to buy? What does your customer need from you? Not what you're trying to sell, but what does your customer need? And if you don't want to write it down or you want to share, go ahead, put it in the chat. Love to know what some of you guys feel that your customers need. What do they need from you? Solving your customers' problems is a super big thing. It's actually like a pivotal change in the mindset, because all of us are like, well, I would like to sell this. I'm good at this. I can provide this, but what do your customers need? And type it in the chat if you like. In case you need the question, what are they missing from their lives? Now, some people have wrote closure, reassurance, peace, and healing. Yes, nice. What are they missing from their life? Absolutely, Charles. What are they missing? I work with women who a sense of radiancy, self-love, and well-being. They're missing confidence, mindset hacks, helping remove limiting beliefs. You guys are so good. Missing freedom. See, I love it, because a lot of people think they're missing, the tools they need to build their website. They're missing, the copy they need to get on social media. Those are tangible things that they're missing, but most people are missing exactly what you guys wrote. Bravo. Freedom, confidence, resiliency. They're missing the big thing. So a lot of times in sales, we focus on the minutia, the little thing. We focus on the transaction. You want to focus on the big thing. You want to focus on what are they missing, integrally. They're missing a sense of well-being. They're missing, and there's 5. So last week, also on Friday and Saturday, I took a 2-day training course, all-day training course about marketing. And they said, there's 5 things, write this down. Everybody wants to save money. Number one of the factors in anything you sell is helping them save money, helping them make money, helping them save time, elevate their status, and give them a sense of connection. So I heard that and I was like, this is brilliant. So listen to me. When you write in a night book, you will save time. We will get you there faster. You will save money because you will do it with other people. You will absolutely feel connected to our community. It will elevate your status, becoming a best-selling author. And the most amazing thing is, eventually, once you write your book, you'll make money, right? Like all 5 of those things in like one breath, right? So figure out how you can have all 5 of those things with your product. How do you save them money, save them time, make them money, elevate their status, and make them feel connected? Those are the 5 fundamental rudimentary base needs that people have whenever they are in a sales cycle. Is this product going to solve one of those 5 things? Now, you may just save time. That may just be your thing. You may just make them feel connected. That may be your thing. Whatever it is, any one of those points is actually going to speak to people really importantly. So when you look at what people are missing, what is potentially one of those 5 things. And so your freedom, resilience, self-help, well-being, all the things you provide are leaning into those 5 things, or the things that people feel like they're missing. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's really kind of neat, because actually what I liked about Dan's sharing, and what I like about sales in general, if you are actually fulfilling these people's needs, then that feeling like you're pushing them or pressuring them or sales are awkward for you, it's actually not there, because you're actually filling a need. People are looking for ways to save money, to save time, to feel connected. People are looking for exactly what you have. So when you share with them that you solve that problem, you're not pushing anything on them. You're actually supporting them with where it is they want to go. So I thought that was a really, really neat option. All right, I'm going to share another one of his screen shares with you. He called them truth bombs. And I thought this was really cute. Next truth bomb. Oh, sorry, team. Truth bomb is prospects want fun experiences and look for products that will deliver them. So write down 3 ways that your product creates fun. Now, fun can also be enjoyment. It can also be, humor. It can also be, a positive emotion. Like you may say, like, my product isn't really fun, but it makes people feel confident, which is, a layer of fun. It makes people feel, self-assured. It makes people connected to their kids. It makes people, have a sense of confidence. So name ways that your experience or your product creates those levels of emotions in people. Now you might have a product where you say, well, yeah, well, my product, I'm a dentist. My product isn't really about fun. So that's interesting. So what's the challenge in that? How do you make every other thing about it be fun? I took my kids to the dentist and, they had a playground in the waiting room. They had an elephant with a toucan brushing his teeth in a giant, like life-size, like, like statue, like in the at the front door. Like they made the whole experience fun, even though the actual dentist part wasn't fun. They had the toys and the gifts and they had the ceiling. Inside the ceiling was the TV, and they had the kids wearing like funny things on their heads, and they had pig noses on the oxygen mask. Like the whole experience was fun, despite the fact that they were at the dentist. So if you feel like you have a product that necessarily isn't fun, like grief counseling, or, people who have suffered violence, like that may not be fun, but there's other ways that you can make the before, the after, and all of that fun, using in quotes, fun, enjoyable, pleasant, that makes your customer really feel like, wow, they got a good experience. Does anybody have an example here of things that they do that they consider fun for their clients? I'd love a few examples if anybody would like to share. Fun, interesting, creative. We have Ignite-A-Rama. That's like one of the things that we did simply to create fun. Was an absolute design, not only with COVID, and we had to cancel our on location book launches, but Ignite-A-Rama was built around how do we create a fun experience for people? How do we elevate their emotions, make them smile, make them laugh, make them feel connected? Who else has got something in their business that's a part, like it has that element to it? Anyone? Yes, Miss Alina Cristina, or mi amor, we haven't heard from you in a while. Share with us a little bit. Welcome back to Ignite.
Hi.
Your world.
Hi, GB. I was actually just typing now.
Tell us. I know you create fun.
Well, it's my pleasure. The latest thing I've added, actually, it's been launched last week as a fun way to attract new clients, actually, to my newly launched website, Illuminated Essence, is a daily inspirational short notes newsletter. So instead of sending a weekly newsletter, which I do, but on top of that, I send daily short notes called freedom notes from your inner universe, and I make them so that it kind of the sense is that it comes from your heart, and it's as if your heart speaks to you daily. And it's actually notes that I would love to see on my wall as the first thing as I get up in the morning. And I have already received back a few replies saying like, oh, keep going. This is like so great for me to read every day. So it doesn't take long. It's 5 minutes. It's basically the first thing I do after I have my morning juice and coffee. Sending the freedom note from your inner universe. That's how it's called.
What a great idea. Yeah. And absolutely, like people often they need that daily reminder, that daily boost, or that daily little shot of adrenaline or inspiring or improvement. Fantastic. I love that. I love that. Put me on your email list. Anyone else have anything to share? Little things that make it fun? drop it in the chat and we'll move on. Put your hand up, of course. At the bottom of our Zoom link is a reactions button. You can click on that and then you can see, you can reach out and I can see you. Now I'm going to screen share our next one. Next truth bomb was people don't buy things, they buy experiences. So that's really also a very important thing, is because they're not buying this package, or they're not buying this course, or they're not buying this program. They're actually buying an experience. So we talked about that quite a bit 2 weeks ago. What experience do you create that gives people the transformation? So people want to buy an experience. You go to the movie theater and you pay money to watch a movie because you want to be absorbed in the experience. You go to the roller coaster because you want to have the experience. You go see Tony Robbins because you want the experience. You even go to the bookstore. How many people go to the bookstore because they just love the experience of the bookstore? So many people do their transformation, their purchases, their shopping based on the experience. So how do you create a wonderful experience? I've learned a lot of that again from Yamilka. If you guys need some helping with branding, we've got so many people in our community, but how do you build an experience for people so they feel like they've made a move from when they arrived to when they left? I mean, some of the experience, haunted house, like major experience, right? Going to the spa, major experience. Being in Ignite, you started one way, you left another way, major experience. So if you've got an experience that you feel you want to share with people, put it in the chat. Love to hear more about experiences, because that is one of the big things that people are looking for now more than ever. We're trapped in our houses. We're stuck on virtual. We're doing things we've never had to do before. So we, as entrepreneurs and as authors and as business owners, we need to be creative. How do we give people the experience? Well, I have a great idea about your book. Create a Facebook evening soiree where you read your book, your story to people. Have people do a Facebook Live, set up your whole house, get your, not your whole house, but get your little space, get your chair and your lamp and your tea and whatever, create a little environment and invite people to come to your evening book signing soiree and read your story to them, or read other people's story, or read your power quote, and then have a discussion and open it up to a chat. Create an experience for people around your book. Have a lunchtime soiree, have like a coffee, like an action step coffee hour, and create an opportunity for people to come and, watch you on Facebook Live. Invite even other authors. Go to your book and go to all the authors in your book and invite them to come to your soiree and your Facebook party, or your, Instagram stories. Create something like that that gives people an experience around your book. Now, if your book is about to be published or your book has been published, even creating those stories, like reinvigorating your book from however long ago it was with new stories and new things. Like, you think that everyone has heard about your book, but they haven't. You think that your book or your story's old news, or you're talking about it too much. Not true. I learned this great thing: pebble in the ocean, brick in the Grand Canyon. Like, social media is so inundated now that you can talk about it over and over and over again, and only a very small sliver of people are going to see it more than once. So talk about it as much as you can. The fact that many of you are just about to launch, create a story around that. Like, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of my story, and I'm going to read you my power quote, and make an experience out of it on Facebook. Make an experience out of it. Even if you just record it, if you're not good at live, then set up your camera, set up your chair, set up everything, and make it into an experience. Have it be fun. A lot of we've been posting about Candlelight Conversations. You've all been seeing it. Some of you like it, and some of you have been showing up, and some of you haven't. So yesterday I'm like, I need to make an experience out of Candlelight Conversations. So our next expert on this Saturday, we did this total joke, this little spoof. I'm going to send it out to you guys tomorrow. You'll see it. It's like me and him talking on the phone, and we're talking about an experience about this coming Saturday. So really, really thinking about ways that you can create this experience for your clients is really, really powerful. Anybody want to share about that? Yeah, you guys are quiet today. Solana, thank you, JB. We use those 5 in our product solution. The Fizzle Tube. Is Solana here? Solana has a product called the Fizzle Tube. Now, how fun is that? Just in the name. Solana, if you want to come on camera and share, you can tell a little people, but they do have a very unique product. They use really bright colors. They use fun. They have a silly name. They have really cool branding. It's actually a floaty that's made like a puzzle, and they snap into each other. So when you float down the river or you go floating, you can just lock in with your friends, right? Did I describe it good?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a Fluzzle, which stands for floating puzzle. And thank you for bringing up those 5 tips, because it really reminded us about, how we're doing our marketing and how we can really hone in on those, because I really saw the connection between those, about the saving time and the money and the status and connection. And it really kind of flows with what we're doing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for having fun with your business, like having fun with the name and having fun with the colors. You're even going to see in her photo in the book, I'm like, put a Fluzzle in the background. It's so colorful and bright, right? Let's do it.
Yes. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, let's do our last one. I'm just going to close down this last photo, and I have another one to share with you. All right, one of the great things that Dan talked about when it comes to sales, and I'm bringing this up because so many people say to me like, oh, it's so hard to do sales, is, let me just see if I can close this, is number 2, mirroring. So when someone is talking to you and they say like, oh, it's so important to me that I share my story with the world and help other people, I'll say, I totally agree with you. It is so important to share your story with people and impact the world. Like, you really want to mirror what people say when they say, I'm really nervous about writing. I've never written before. I totally understand you. Writing is nerve-wracking. It's hard to write. Not everybody can do it. Like, the reason you mirror them is not to be condescending. The reason you mirror them is so they know that you heard them. People need to be heard. The number one precedent of Ignite, the reason I formed this company was I was sitting in an audience, listening to people on stage, hearing them so desperately want to be heard. People want to be heard. I actually had a really cool story polish the other day with one of our authors, and she wrote in her story, I was left-handed, and my parents, in our culture, it was bad luck to be left-handed. And so my mother insisted at 5 years old that I be right-handed. And when I told her no, she slapped me in the face, and I'll never forget it. And my eyes stung, and she wrote all about being slapped in the face. At our story polish, she said, I think I'm going to take that part out, because in truth, it was just the little girl in me that needed to say it. She's like, I just needed to say it. I needed to write it. I needed to put it down. I just needed to know that at 50 years old, I was free to like talk about it. That little person in me still felt like, stung by it. And we laughed about it for a few moments, but it was so true. It was really an example of me. Like, we do need to be heard. That little 5-year-old in her was such injustice that her mom slapped her because she was left-handed. And she just needed to say it, and she needed to validate it, and she needed to be heard. And so I think many of us can relate to something similar, where we just need to be heard. And so your customers are exactly the same. They've got concerns, they've got fears, they've got worries, they've got concerns financially, relationship, time, their kids, their limiting beliefs if they can even do it, their unknowingness of what it's going to look like. And so whenever they say to you these or their complaints, it's really important for you to mirror them, because then they really feel heard. Now, it's very different when someone says, I don't know if I can be a writer, and you're like, oh, yes, you can do it. Or, I'm really concerned that I won't be able to, find the time. Oh, no, you'll be fine. Like, can you see the difference between saying, I really understand that time is a big factor in all of our lives right now, and, it only requires this much time, and we'll help you. Like, there's so many different ways. There's acknowledging, and then there's mirroring. And I hope you can see the difference, because we do acknowledge what people say, but sometimes we acknowledge it in a way that doesn't make them feel heard. Has that happened to anyone? Didn't feel heard by a salesperson? Didn't feel heard by your significant other? Didn't feel heard by, the waiter or the person? Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot. And so mirroring, sometimes people feel like, I'm not going to mirror because it sounds like I'm, just repeating them. In truth, it sounds like you're hearing them. So this is a really great sales tool to use, is mirroring other people. All right. Fantastic. I see some action happening in the chat. Anybody want to share anything from those things that I just talked about sales? Yeah, now think about it when you are trying to convince somebody into doing something, convince your kids, convince your, your neighbors, convince your friends. Try using some of the 5 things, increase their sales, save them money, save them time, elevate their status, make them feel connected. At the same time, think about the experience. Like, am I really providing the experience that my customers that they want? What do they want? We all feel like I have the greatest idea ever, and then nobody buys it, and it's like, what's wrong? It's like, well, maybe we didn't listen to what they want, what they're asking for. A lot of times, if you just actually sit and listen, your customers will tell you exactly what they need. And then when it comes to really selling, think about ways that you can mirror them. All right, so who feels great at sales? Who feels they suck at sales? Who doesn't even like to use the word sales? Anyone feel like they're a master at sales? And so, Alina, what do you use instead of the word sales? Do you say service? Do you say provider? Is there another something else that you do to like trick your brain?
I think the word I used for a while to change sales was more like promoting my soul offering. That's how I call it. So promotions is a good word, but what I added to it is promoting my soul offering, because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's my soul offering.
Absolutely. Okay, I have to get you, Milka, for you to chime in something. Just give us a little golden nugget here, girl. Am I a good student?
So I usually, what I do, and I've been practicing this a lot, is whatever I'm not a real expert at, I write down like I am an expert at it, and I just say it for 21 days. Like that's and every day I wake up in the morning and I say it and I say it again, and I have my little piece of paper because sometimes I forget about it, and I just say it until it's in my brain and it's like a done deal.
Fantastic. Good advice. I like that. Francis, how about you? You're great at sales. Any little tips for us?
I think the best of it's really thinking about the intention, what's being in their shoes. So, it's at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. So having that intention to help at first is really putting ourselves in that right mindset.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, Barbara, go ahead.
Yeah, I used to do business to business sales, forklifts and material handling, warehousing equipment and all of that. And I always felt like I was a business partner. So I wanted to stay there and grow with their business. So I'd even start with them a mom and pop and always look for the best interest for that particular company or business, and then building that trust. And as they grew, I grew with them. And also I wanted to say that sales is everything. In your family, it's sales. What movie you're going to go to, who's going to sell your partner, what restaurant you want to go to. So there's such a connotation of this sales when we're always selling ourselves. Our kids are selling themselves to us. And, it's something that we do naturally all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that I learned really on the weekend was about sales is we sometimes feel bad about sales because we feel like we're benefiting. Like we feel like, oh, someone's paying us to do something. And so we feel like there's this benefit, like this monetary benefit. And I was thinking, like, if you imagined it was jelly beans, like, there's only so many jelly beans you can eat. And so like, you can only, how do you serve people in a way that they're getting what they need and you're getting what you need, but it doesn't feel like you're, gluttony and consuming. It's like you're helping, you're supporting, you're guiding them. You're actually giving them something that they want. Now, one of the key pieces when you think about sales is only so many people are at the level where they want to move forward with you. They want to have your experience. And so I think where sales is hard for some people is they try to convince people. I love the whole idea of like the law of probability. You have to get 20 no's to get one yes. So when someone is a no or a waffle or not interested, like be thankful because that's one more person closer to your yes. So if the law of probability is you have to get 20 no's before you get a yes, be okay with your no's because your no's are just moving you closer to the yes. You have to go through the no's, you have to go through the resistance, you have to go through the rejections to really hone in what is important to you and get to the people who are going to say yes. And so every single no is like, okay, thank you. And then you're on to your next because a yes is right around the corner. All right, fantastic. Well, we're going to move into networking because what I want you to do is share with each other a little bit about what you do. What is the experience you offer? Now, every time on Ignite Live, when we do networking, we love to talk with people very succinctly. I share with you one of the best ways to do networking is to very quickly say your name, a verb. I help, I support, I encourage, I allow, I enable people to, and then tell people what you do and then how quickly you do it. It seems like all the learning and training that I've experienced is, hi, I'm JB. I help people write their story and I allow them to become international best-selling authors in just 4 months, something like that. And so something quick so that the person knows exactly what you do, like, oh, that's for me or that's not for me. And so what I want you to do in conjunction with your networking is I provide an experience where, and I want you to tell your partner what your experience is. And so you may need a bit of a moment to think about that. And the clarity is really important. It's really important that you have clarity on what your experience is, because if you're like, well, you know, I let people come to like this great retreat and we hang out and then it's like really transformative because, you know, we do all this stuff. Like, again, that's not going to dial people in. What kind of retreat is it? What kind of cool stuff? What is hanging out look like? Be very specific about what you do. And then what do? Pause and listen. And so what I would like is you guys to practice. I'm going to have a little bit longer sales. I'm going to pretend that you guys are selling to each other. So I want person A, and that could be the person with the longest hair, to go first, introduce yourself, give your experience. And then what I want is your person B to just ask a few questions. And person A, I want you to do your mirroring. Oh, well, that sounds really good, but it might be a little expensive. I hear that. Person B, don't be too hard on person A, but practice a little bit of questioning so that person A can practice a little bit of mirroring. So Peter's going to give you guys 6 minutes. So you each have 3 minutes, and we're going to put you into groups of 2 so that you guys can introduce yourselves, tell people what you do, share your experience, and then the other person's going to ask a few questions and you're going to get an opportunity to mirror. All right. Any questions? Fantastic. Peter, are you ready to rock and roll with our team?
We are all set to go.
Let's do it.
Have fun, guys.
Arasimo, are you here? He may have dialed out. Do you want to put Elena in another room with Solana?
Yep.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Arasimo. How are you?
How you doing, JB? Sorry, I'm just unable to join right now. Sorry.
That's okay. No problem. We'll move Elena Christina into another room and you can just be on mute if you like.
Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Peter, you'll keep track of time?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone, welcome back. How did that go? Who would like to introduce somebody that they met today? Barbara.
I would love to introduce Miss Kathleen Sinclair. What an amazing woman she is. She's in a little bit different book that I'm in. She's in the entrepreneur book, and she has a niche where helping people over 60 find their purpose and their niche and who they are and rediscover what they're about. And you know, after raising children, after all these other things, it's like, okay, who am I? It's self-discovery. And in that time period, I know I'm in that age group, that times change so much. So maybe what you even wanted to be at 20, look how fast change has happened in our world. And she just traveled down to Florida and drove all the way back to Portland, Oregon, and then is going to on her way to Mexico. So this is a mover shaker woman.
Wow, fantastic. So did she sell you on her product?
Yes, I have all her yep, she's got ebooks coming, and she's got all kinds of information ready and available in a course.
Fantastic. Kathleen, you want to introduce Barbara?
I do want to introduce Barbara so you can see her sweet face there. So the thing that really struck me was something Barbara has a business called Wellness Matters, You Matter. But we were talking about not only is there physical wellness in who we are, but the emotional wellness, which is something you can't always see, but that often is even more important or just as important as the physical wellness, and how you go about treating all of that kind of thing. So yes, I bought into her too. It was great.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And how was the mirroring? Did that work for you, Kathleen?
Well, honey, I don't even remember doing it. What the hell? We didn't have time.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. I want to jump down a little bit and introduce or talk with one of our newest authors, Maynard. I know you've just got your beautiful photo, but Maynard, do you want to come on screen and who met Maynard? Did anyone meet Maynard? Are you able to unmute yourself? I didn't know you were driving. I'm sorry. So
yes.
Did you meet
Oh no, I'm on daddy duty picking up the kids, so I'm trying my best to fight through the struggle.
I love it. I love it. Well, do you have like 3.5 minutes to just tell us a little bit about your amazing self? Tell us about how cool you are.
Oh man. Well, I met with, and I forget her name, but I remember what she does. And I don't know if maybe she can unmute herself, but she actually teaches individuals how to speak before they open their mouths. She helps them dress for success and breed confidence in just their appearance. And I thought that was very interesting of how she explained what she does.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Who was that you, Steph? Oh, maybe she left. Maybe she had to bump off somebody. Oh, was it you?
No, it was not me.
Okay, well, how about you introduce yourself anyway?
Okay, well, I'm Maynard Neal. I'm a real estate broker. And the way I describe what I do is I help people make moves and own a piece of the American dream. So I help people buy real estate, sell real estate, and also invest in real estate.
Fantastic. And what state or province do you do that in? Or primarily, what area do you work?
I'm in the US and we're licensed for the state of Michigan. And I'm also licensed in Denver, Colorado as well.
Oh, fantastic. We have some authors in that area. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thanks, Maynard. All right, Steph, introduce yourself.
I'm Steph. I'm coming from Maryland. I had the pleasure of just meeting Kate. So I currently do not have a business yet, but working on developing that in process with this book. So I met Kate, and goodness gracious, it's divine timing and the way the universe always has my back, because Kate is a coach and is speaking on forgiveness, which is my passion. So we had a beautiful little share together, and I have already connected offline of this Zoom so that we can continue those conversations. But I wanted to give a great big shout out to Kate and a congratulations, as she had her first podcast today. to promote her book. And I just am so stinking excited for her and wanted to share that about Kate today.
That's awesome. Kate, you want to introduce Steph? Unmute yourself, sorry.
Yes, it was so exciting. It was like a little reunion that Steph and I had as soon as we knew that we had the theme of forgiveness in common. And we're looking forward to collaborating together on where we're going from here with this whole forgiveness. But I'm excited to learn that she's on this path too with me. So it's great. So we didn't really go into much more. So thank you.
Very welcome. All right, awesome. So that's the power of networking. That's the power of sharing. And so just share what you do. Tell as many people as that what you do. Talk to people, just create new conversations, let people know who you are. You guys are getting so good at networking. Bravo and bravo. So Friday, I just want to remind everyone, if you are in the process of publishing your book, if you are about to go bestseller with us in May, Possibilities or Entrepreneur, please be sure 100% to be at our call on Friday, because we're talking about the amazing author journey and all the important parts of it, the social media, the collateral, the Ignite-orama, all the fun stuff that we're doing. Please join us on that call on Friday. If you're brand new and you're part of Hungry to Speak, your new call is actually also on Friday, but is at a different time. You'll have your email. That's at 3:00 Mountain Time on Fridays. You brand new authors, you absolutely amazing brand new authors are going to be starting your brand new author journey. We're going to have a call this Thursday, kind of a prep call. And then May 7th is the big kickoff of the Hungry to Speak program with Les Brown. If any of you are interested in writing with Les Brown, there's a few spots open. So if that is something you want to do, learn how to write your story and then speak with and be trained with the legendary Les Brown, we do have some spots available for that. Pretty magnificent. And then on Saturday, we have Bryce McKinley, amazing real estate entrepreneur empire. He has an incredible business. He's going to be talking about 5 keys to sales. He's actually was the person responsible for creating Ford Motors 5-star certification program and a sales certification program. So he has a pretty big, amazing skill set in the area of sales. So if you are still in the wanting to learn all about sales, come see Bryce speaking on Candlelight on Saturday. So always lots of fun things happening at Ignite. We like to keep you guys excited. Now, if you haven't been in Ignite Connect, please jump in there. It is changing and modifying and morphing every single day. Peter's been adding all kinds of fun things to it. So always check out Ignite Connect, because there's videos and recordings and all kinds of fun things. If you're loving these videos at the beginning and after our calls, they are also in Ignite Connect. And then go to your Ignite community Facebook page and share what you're up to. If you guys want to, I don't know, Peter, if you can share the link, but I'm going to be going on Clubhouse in 8 minutes with Les myself. So if you want to join us on Clubhouse, go on the Facebook community page and there's a link to come onto Clubhouse and talk with and hear what Les has got to share. He recently found his birth parents. They're not alive, but he found out who they are. It's been an incredible process for him. I think it's absolutely beautiful because Les has had an Ignite moment of finding his parents while in the process of writing this book. And so this is a pretty powerful thing. I've told him, like, it's not a coincidence. I believe it's not a coincidence that it took him this long to find out who his parents and grandparents are, and have this incredible life-changing Ignite moment at 76 years old, and give him something fabulous to write about in the new upcoming book. So join us on Clubhouse if you are a Clubhouse person. Yes, Barbara.
What's the name of the room? I was just texting somebody to join us that I asked you about last week. Yeah.
I believe I have the name of the room. I've got it right here. It's called Les Brown is inviting you to write in his new book. I think I'll pop in the link right here. You guys can join us. So if you want to come on in and speak to Les Brown, put your hand up and I'll bring you up onto the stage and you can talk to Les himself. If any of you are interested in working with Les one-on-one, or you want to be a part of his book, just let me know. I can get you on a phone call with him. He's pretty amazing. He calls me every day. So we've got a pretty fun friendship going on. So if you are interested in working with Les Brown and want to make that happen, let's do it. And there is the link to join me on Clubhouse. Clubhouse Arama. So we're going to start a Clubhouse room pretty soon where all Ignite authors can come and tell their story. So that's something that we've been working on. We've invited a few authors, but as these two books get published, we're like, let's go on Clubhouse and people tell their Ignite moments. I love people sharing their Ignite moments. All right, anybody have anything that's going on in their network or community that they would like to share? Yes, go ahead, Marina.
Hi, GB.
Katie.
So I have sent a message to you. I was just wondering, there's something that bothers me, and maybe you know the answer.
Okay,
this
great.
is
Yeah,
my
I can
concern.
stay on the call for a few minutes if you want.
Yeah, well, it might be useful for everyone who is not from the States or who is not from the UK.
Yes, I know your question is about Amazon. We can talk. I can absolutely answer you, and then I'll answer you again on the author journey.
Okay, so when is the best thing to do?
I'll just stay on the call with you right now for a few more minutes. If anybody else has any questions, if not, big hugs and kisses. Mwah. XOXO, love you all. Peter, if you could stay and answer Marina's question, that would be really great, just so I can get set up for Clubhouse. Marina, we totally have the Amazon answer. All right, Peter, I'll get you to stay.
Okay.
All right, everybody, have a fantastic day. Go out and ignite lives. Do what you do. Go out and be amazing because you got this. All right, big hugs to you, everybody.